Determine the standard quota for a state given its population. Y'all, we're talking about apportionment. So we are dividing a set of things among different size groups of people. And the easiest way to really think about this is to talk about the U.S. House of Representatives. We have 435 seats divided among the 50 states. So how do they figure out how many representatives each state get? Because the population varies wildly, right? We're talking about, Texas, California, New York that have a ton of people. And then we get to states like Montana, Wyoming, North and South Dakota that have far fewer. So how do we know the best and fairest way to split the seats? Well, it starts by finding the standard quota, which is really a rough estimate on how many seats a state deserves based on the population. So how do we find this? Well, there's two formulas. The first one is to find the standard divisor. So we're going to take the total population of all the states, and we're going to divide by the total number of representatives. So this gives us basically roughly the population per representative countrywide, right? That's the standard divisor. Then we're going to find the standard quota per state by taking a particular state's population and dividing by that standard divisor. So that'll give us approximately, right, the rough estimate on how many seats a particular state should receive. So let's do an example. Given the states and populations below, what is the standard quota for each state if there should be 60 total representatives? All right, so we have 4 states. We have New Maple, West Hickory, Oak Lawn, and East Pine. Of course, these are absolutely real. Well, the first thing we need to do is find the total population. So if I add the 4 populations together, I end up with a total population of 408,304. Now I can use the total population along with the 60 total representatives to find my standard divisor, because I know the total population, 408,304, divided by my total number of representatives of 60, and I get a standard divisor of 6,805, and we have a repeating decimal. Generally, that's probably going to happen. I mean, every once in a while, you'll come up with a nice number, but you're going to probably have a repeating decimal. I take mine out to 3, 4, 5 places, and, because this, again, is a rough estimate. So now that I have my standard divisor, now I can find my standard quota for each state. So I'm going to take the particular state population and divide by that standard divisor. So for New Maple, I've got 126,872 divided by the standard divisor, and I get approximately 18.644. Again, I'm rounding here to get my standard quota. For West Hickory, 89,041 divided by 6,805 and some change for a standard quota of 13.085. Oak Lawn, 119,416 divided by my standard divisor for an answer of 17.548. And East Pine, we get a standard quota of 10.724. And remember, those standard quota are a rough estimate on how many representatives each state should receive. But you'll notice that all standard quotas in this case are decimals. So how do we know how to make it fair? Because you can't say, well, you get 10.7 representatives. How do you have 0.7, right? Representatives are people, like whole people. So how do we do this to make it fair and still have the appropriate number of representatives? Well, my friends, there's multiple ways to do that, and we're going to find that out in future videos. So have fun watching those.